What's going on, growers? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. September is here, and it's hard for me to believe that the summer will soon be over. Me and Tuck had more fun in the garden this year than we ever had, and neither of us wanted to end. So today I want to bring you through, show you how the gardens are growing, and grab a September harvest along the way. Let's go! I want to start things off in the front corner of the food forest. Getting nice production here. Those pears are doing excellent. And I've talked about it before, but pears are our most productive and most reliable fruit here in New Jersey, or at least the location I'm at. This white doyen pear here, it's not perfectly ripe yet. It's gonna be riper, better later in the season, but there are a few of them that are getting bit by some bugs. So those are causing them to ripen quicker. As you can see, the bees and the wasps and stuff are having their fun, eating some of those. And I know there's one down here that fell, that's got a little mark on it too. So when I have fruit like this, I don't let it go to waste. What I'll do is just eat the good side. So as you can see, it's getting more of that yellow coloring. It's riper than some of these other ones. So let's just try a bite of it, see how it tastes. Really good. Good texture, not mealy at all, juicy. And as you could tell, it wasn't a big crunch, so it's relatively ripe. I'll continue snacking on this one as we move through. But there's a lot of stuff I want to show you today. Another thing I wanted to mention is now that we're kind of coming more towards the end of the summer, we're starting to focus a lot of our attention and our time on fall, how we're going to get bigger fall harvests. And even in the winter, we're going to be growing things in the greenhouse here. So we started to get some stuff growing in the greenhouse. And right next to the greenhouse, you can see that fig tree doing pretty well. That's the reason we like to plant it there. Figs typically like to be planted around here. They do better when they're next to a house or next to something like a greenhouse, which can help keep it warmer in the wintertime. You'll notice probably when I came in these pots. And the reason I have these in the garden is because we transplanted out some of our brassicas that we grew inside. We started those inside, so we transplanted those out. And the issue that I've been having, and I had it in the spring as well, is we've got little critters like chipmunks and groundhogs or whatever is coming and eating a lot of our brassicas when they're small. So once the sun starts to set, I put the chickens in, I bring the pots and I drop those over top. And that seems to prevent anything from really messing with the stuff. A quick, easy fix, and it doesn't take much time. And I'll tell you what, the chipmunks have been greedy this year. The hazelnuts, I mean, they had more nuts than they ever had. They're growing fantastically. Both hazelnuts are huge this year. So we're looking towards big production in the future. And we had a lot on them this year, but you can see the evidence down here. We've got a lot of cracked nuts, and within a day or two, the chipmunks came through and just wiped this out. So it looks like we're not going to be getting many hazelnuts this year, but we're working towards that time when there's so many that the chipmunks can't keep up with them. And that's when we're really investing. So when you want to grow perennials and stuff, one thing you're going to have to invest is time, and especially with nuts. But once you start getting them, they'll produce for a long time excellently. So while we're waiting for that, we're always producing annuals and stuff and biennials, making sure we're getting good harvests. That's why we are using the space for a lot of our brassicas. Let me take you over to a few other things. In this section right here, we have some tomatoes ripe and ready. And this is one of the reasons I love growing them up a stake like this, because we're in a spot that is kind of, confined. There's not a lot of space here between this pear tree, the hazelnut, the persimmon, but we're still getting the best use of the light. We're keeping the tomato up so it can find some of the light. And let me grab a few of them because we've got some ripe ones ready over here. It looks like a nice set back here. And the tomatoes have started to slow down a little bit, but we're still getting production. And it's always good to have tomatoes late in the season. They're not going to be as perfect as some of the earlier season ones, but they're still delicious. That's why some varieties produce better late, and that's why we like to grow a lot of different varieties. So we're still getting pretty nice ones. They'll be sweet to have on sandwiches and put in salads and stuff. And the persimmons, this is one of the things that's going to be our late season one. And it's holding more persimmons than it ever has, which is always encouraging. We love to see it. And you've also got a bunch of spider nests. You can see the spider in there working. So he's definitely doing some good work for us, keeping the bad pests out and just watching over. That's the great thing about a food forest and growing things naturally. You're providing a habitat for so many different things. Here you'll notice we have the asparagus. They're doing well. And one thing is, we made sure we cut out the berries. This is one that we didn't cut the berries out, but you want to cut these berries out from the asparagus plants because some are male and some are female. So we don't want our asparagus focused on just producing seed. We want them to focus on producing bigger, healthier roots. So next year we get even more spears. And this pear tree right here, man, this is such a beautiful pear. You can see now that they're fully ripe and they've swelled up a lot. So we should probably, it has a little mark, but that's still good. We should probably pick this and just maybe have a fresh taste of this guy. So let's grab this pear. That one came off easy. Nice size, nice color. I'm gonna grab a few of these And then we'll put them, bring them inside. Maybe put a couple in the fridge so we can get them when they're nice and cool too. And that's the color we want for the Chard butterscotch pear. I'm gonna have to eat one of them now though because they look too good. This one's nice and ripe as well. And then we'll let some of the other ones that are on there still ripen up a little more. Let's try one of these pears. This one looks good. Nice and ripe and ready. The amount of sweetness in this thing just blows me away every time. Literally tastes like butterscotch. I understand exactly why they call it the butterscotch pear. So good. I wanted to give all of you another perspective of how big these hazelnuts have gotten. Look at the size of this tree. And because some of these trees have gotten so large, like this hazelnut, it's actually shaded out some of my other trees. And some of the trees in the back aren't getting it, I don't think, as much light as they should or need to. So I'm gonna be making some changes in the future, but I wanna do a whole video about that so you guys can learn from some of the mistakes or mishaps that I've had so you don't make any of those in the future and we can get you to productivity even sooner. Most of the trees are still doing well in the food forest, like this Rainier cherry here. But this apple tree, it's just not getting as much light as it used to because those hazelnuts have just expanded so much. Tuck's just hanging outside the garden right now. I'll let him in a few minutes. But when he's in here too long, he'll start to grab some of the cucumbers and a lot of them, which we love him to do, but sometimes he takes a little too many and he likes digging holes when it's hot in here too. So we'll let him in and he'll have some fun with us as we do some harvesting. And this section right here, we still got some tomatoes coming in. So let's grab some of those and add them to the basket. Let's get to one of my favorite parts about gardening, like everybody, the harvesting. Grab some of these tomatoes here. Get those in. It's supposed to rain here, so we'll see if we can make it before the rain comes. Another nice looking tomato here. Feels like we're starting to drizzle just a little bit, but we want to make sure we harvest this stuff so we can eat it. Some nice more tomatoes here. Gotta love Jersey tomatoes, so good. Got some more tomatoes right over here we're gonna grab. Actually, let's just have a quick snack of my favorite variety, the Sun Gold Cherry. Sweetest between the Sun Gold Cherry and the pears. I mean, it's like we're eating candy out here. Got some more ripe tomatoes right over here. Nice one. Like I said, this late in the season, not all the tomatoes are really nice, but this is a beauty. Look at that thing. Great color, great shape. That's gonna be a sweet one. This is definitely for sandwiches. It looks like a storm may be coming. I'm gonna do my best to harvest everything, but I may have to come back out a little later and grab some stuff. So we're gonna move through a little quicker and grab everything. Stepping into the new food forest right now. I mentioned these in the other video, but these purple yard-long beans, they're just blowing me away. They're incredible. How long they are, and also how productive they are. And I grew them later in the season this year, but I read that they're super hardy when it comes to in the summer. They're one of the only beans that produces in the heat of the summer, at least around here. So we're gonna be making sure we grow those continually from now on every year. The zucchini in this section has done great. This is, like I had mentioned, another round of zucchini that we put in. We're always trying to grow things in succession. Got a nice zucchini ripe here. This one got a little big on me, but when they start growing and they get big quick. So this is bigger than I like to harvest them, but that's okay. We've got more zucchinis on the vine that are ripening, and I'm gonna pick that one much smaller than I did this one, although this one should still be good. And if you notice behind it, we've got green beans. Another round of dragon tongue beans, looking real good. Nice color on these ones. And these ones are a little further behind than the ones I have in the front. So I like to make sure I do that, plant things, and I stagger things and plant them at different times, so there's always more on the way. And this Swiss chard, this perpetual spinach, has just been incredible this year. It's just produced all year long, hasn't slowed down, and it's a great green, something I'm definitely gonna be growing more and more in the future. Let's grab some more tomatoes though. I see some ripe ones. Let me move over here, grab some of these tomatoes. Still pretty good size for late in the season. Nice color. Another one right here. And then some of our peppers are starting to ripen up, which we love to see. This time of the year is when the peppers start coming along. These ones in the front over here aren't as big as the ones up there, but we're still getting good production out of them. This one's not perfectly ripe, but I want to have some peppers. I love eating them. Another ripe one here. Grab this. And then I think I missed a tomato over here. Let me grab that one. Pretty good size one. Looks good. And then I see some more tomatoes to my right here. This one's pretty ripe. It's got a little odd shape to it, but I mean, it's still a good tomato. And then I'm gonna get this one and let it ripen a little bit inside. Nice size on that one. Put that down. Let's switch the colors up a little bit and grab some different peppers. This one right here is the Midnight Dream pepper, and it's got some beautiful color to it, and it's got nice production. Not huge peppers, but really cool color. And it'll go good with my yellows and my oranges and my reds. So let me just grab a bunch of these. Looks like we've got a number of them ready. Get this one back here. And these ones seem like they're ripening earlier than some of my other peppers, which is nice too. I'll grab the last of these Midnight Dream peppers, ones that are ripe, put that in. And then we're gonna move over to the Afternoon Delight tomatoes. So from Midnight Dreams to Afternoon Delight, I think that's probably kind of ironic. And nice color on this one. Here's the section where we have the other dragon tongue beans. They were doing well, they got a lot of beans on them. Looks like Tuck's looking for some cucumbers. Let me grab one for me, and then we'll grab one for him as well. I think we got one right here. Nice little one, and I bet we got some back here. Oh, he'll grab his own, it looks like. Want it to cucumber, Tucky? We'll let him have one while I eat one as well. I love these cucumbers, the ones without the spikes and the ribs on them. I think this one might be called the Bait Alpha. I'm not exactly sure, but we always like to make sure Tuck gets to try some of the stuff, especially the cucumbers, the different varieties. We have to make sure it's all Tuck approved before we could make sure it's a good cucumber or not. He's kind of our taste tester. He seems to like these ones, so I think he's given us the okay for growing them again next year as well. With how much Tuck is enjoying that one, I think I want to grab one for myself and actually try it. Looks like there's one through the fence over here. I'm surprised Tuck hasn't got to this. Usually when they're on the outside of the garden, he finds them and eats them right up, but it's definitely a nice one. I like to sometimes give them a nice crack. Good size, the seeds aren't too big. Let's see if it's, Tuck approved it, so it's gotta be good. Very good, sweet, and these cucumbers, such a good smell. You don't get that natural smell from ones in the store because they just don't have the minerals and they just don't have, you know, the quality they ones have when you grow them yourself. Just a couple of guys hanging out, eating some fresh cucumbers. Nothing better than being out here, enjoying the weather and enjoying ourselves and enjoying the fruits of the labor. And it's good to have a friend, a companion with you. If you guys enjoy Tuck and you love him, throw some hearts down in the comment like I always ask you to, because he loves seeing them, and I always share the love back with him that you guys give. Let's grab some eggplant to add to the basket. Got a nice one right here. Got a few more as well. Another variety to add, another eggplant. And then we'll go grab a couple white eggplants too. Get that different color in there. Got a few white eggplants I'm gonna grab as well. These ones are a little small, but still should be good. I think these are the Casper, I believe, eggplants. Let's grab one of these small little yellow eggplants too. Not a perfect eggplant, but still should be delicious.
Beneath my bed, I wrote or read them all, and searching in the swarm, still can't find how to hold my hands. And I know you need me in the next room over, but I am stuck in here all paralyzed.
That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And we still have some more things to harvest, beans, more tomatoes and stuff, but it's getting dark here. It's starting to rain a little bit. The storm's coming, so we want to make sure we get inside, get some of this stuff safe. But when it comes down to it, I hope that you're getting more out of your garden and more of the channel than just the harvests. I hope you're getting some satisfaction, some joy, and some peace, and maybe even some encouragement. If you guys are enjoying the video, if you love Tuck, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends, and check out some of the merch down low. We'll be coming back at you real soon with more videos. James Pears and Tuck, we out.